So yesterday we saw this two-sum problem, and I will repeat this two-sum problem in few days if you have not understood it properly. And in the meantime, you can go through this function in the notes and try to understand yourself. So there are actually 6 problems. These are the 6 problems related to the character map. So there may be many more problems which may be related to character map, but these are the 6 basic problems which I have sorted out for you. And from today till few days, you should write down this 6 problem every day 2 times. One time by looking the problem, by looking and doing the problem, and one time you do without looking. So every day you should do these 6 problems, one by looking at it and one by not looking at it, that is without looking at it. In few days I will take a surprise test and I can give you any of these 6 problems and you have to solve it in front of me. So I will not tell you when the test will be there, but it may happen in 3-4 days. So make sure you are prepared for all these 6 problems. And you have not understood, you can go back in check the videos which I have posted in the YouTube, and you can remember it again by practicing it again and again. Okay, so I will not tell you the date, and suddenly I will tell one day that you have to give the test. So it will be surprise test in few days. So that's all about this, these 6 problems. So I'll put it in the chat. If you want, you can note down. So today I will start some new topic, and new topic will be the bubbling. It's called the bubbling effect. So let me go to the JavaScript folder. Inside JavaScript folder, I will create a new folder, and new folder will be basics. So it will be the basics of the JavaScript. Though I have done a lot of basics of JavaScript, but from today, whatever we will do, we will save in this basics folder. And inside this basic folder, I will create a new folder and I'll name it as bubbling, because we will be doing bubbling today. Okay, I will create another folder also. Maybe inside basic, I will create another folder, arrays. Okay, so today we will be doing something about the bubbling. Let me create one file in the bubbling. I will name it as 1.html. So I have to put something in the 1.html. I'll put the basic structure of HTML. So I'll just copy HTML5 structure. So this is the basic structure of HTML5. I'll just copy it. And I'll delete the body. Whatever inside is the body, I delete it. I don't want those things. It's asking me language error. Okay, so this is my HTML document. If you don't know, I will give you this HTML document in the chat, or you can find on internet. This is the basic HTML5 document. Okay. Now I will name this, title it as a bubbling. So just first see, and then you can write down about it. Here inside the body, I will create div tag, and there is a main div tag, and then I'll create few more div tag. So first div tag, I will give the ID of, I have to give some ID of grandparent. This is the grandparent because it is at the topmost, and inside grandparent I will write down grandparent. inside grandparent, I'll create another div, and I will name this div as, maybe I will put this grandparent in some h3 tag, h1 tag. Then I will create another div tag with the ID of parent. Since this is a grandparent, this is the parent, that is child of grandparent is parent. Here I will create h2 of parent, and then inside parent I will create third div and I will name it as child, and I will name it here as h3 of child. Okay, let's see this on the page, HTML page in the browser. I'll click go live, and then I will get something like this. So we have grandparent, and then we have parent, and then we have child. So we have three tags. Okay. Okay. Now what I will do? I will do some styling so that I can see which is the grandparent, which is the parent, and which is the child. So let's write down some styling here. Before I write down the style, you create this part. Create a main div, and then create another div with the ID of grandparent. Put it h1 tag grandparent, then create ID of parent, then ID of child. Three div to be created: grandparent, parent, and child. Okay. So if you are not done, just do it along with me. I will give some style sheet. This is no brainer right now. I'll just giving some styles to each one, to grandparent, parent, and child. So to give the style to grandparent, I will create the declaration like this: grandparent hash grandparent. Since ID is grandparent, so I have to give hash before the grandparent, and I'll create a curly bracket, and here I will say border of 1 pixel. Even if you have not done the border portion, just write down what I am doing it without thinking. We will do border soon, and I'll put the black color, 1 pixel solid black. I will give the margin of 20 pixel. Even if you have not done the margin, just put the margin of 20 pixel and padding of 20 pixel. So if I see on the browser, see grandparent is having the border of black color, because I give the border of black color, margin is 20, padding is 20 pixel. Let's create another CSS property for the parent. So even though you have not done these three things, which I will be teaching in few days, just write down for today's class, because today's class is not dependent on this thing. It is dependent on some different thing. But for the visual presentation, I am putting this thing. So let's give the properties of parent. Here I will say border 1 pixel solid blue color, margin of 20 pixel, and padding of 20 pixel. So let's see. Now this is a parent with the blue color. Let's give property to the child. I will give the border of 1 pixel solid red color, margin of 20 pixel, and padding of 20 pixel. So this is the child. So to differentiate child, parent, grandparent, I give the border, so you know that this part is grandparent, this part is parent, and this part is the child. So that's the reason I created the border for you to give to see the looks. So just put these properties, and then we'll go further. I'll give you 2 minutes to put the properties, and if you're not done this part, you can do this part also. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, so I hope everybody has done this part. Now let's go further. So this CSS is only for the display purpose. I am not teaching today CSS, though I will be teaching these 3 properties soon in few days, but today is not the class for the CSS. So today is the class for this grandparent, parent and child. Why this is grandparent? Because parent is inside the grandparent and child is inside the parent. So this is the grandparent at the topmost layer, and then we have the parent, and then parent has a child. So that is the reason we created three things. Before the closing of the body tag, I will create a script tag where I will write my JavaScript, and all the JavaScript will lie here. So the basic thing is, now I want to access this grandparent. So to access this grandparent, there is a command in JavaScript, and that is what I am going to do it. So I will create a variable. Maybe I can write down constant grandparent equal to document.query selector. So this document.query selector is the main key. This is the keyword, or this is the key to access any element, to access the parent, grandparent, to access the parent, to access the child. Right now I want to access the grandparent. Since grandparent is accessed with the ID, so here in the query selector I had to mention in the similar way as I have used in the style, that is hash grandparent. So I can say document.query selector, and I will say hash grandparent. When I say hash grandparent, that means I want to try to access this grandparent. Now if I want to access the parent, I will create another variable, and I will say document.query selector, and I will give the name hash parent. Remember, you cannot give only parent, it will not work. You have to give the hash parent. So query selector will access, this variable can access the parent part, and this variable can access the grandparent part because of this hash grandparent. So now, how will you access the child? Can anyone write down how to access the child? Yes, like we have accessed the parent, similar way I have to access the child, like constant child equal to document.query selector and hash child. So this is right. Yeah, everyone is giving me the right answer. So now I have the grandparent, parent and child. Now we will be doing some JavaScript on these 3 things. Okay, right now there may be many other elements on the page. Maybe there is another div, and I'm not concerned with that div. I'm only concerned with 3 things now. Let's play with these 3 things now. So I want that when someone clicks the grandparent, when someone clicks this div tag of the grandparent, I want to do console.log or something. So that is called the event listener. I want to attach the event listener on this div tag. So how to attach the event listener on this div tag is as follows. I will say grandparent dot add event listener. So whenever I want something user clicks or something user do I want on the grandparent, then I will say grandparent dot add event listener. Before I write down this full thing of the add event listener, you just write down these three statements, and then I will go further to do what I'm doing with the event listener. Just finish these 3 lines in one minute. So I created some style sheet. I created 3 div tags. One is the grandparent, one is the parent, and one is the child. And we will play with these 3 things, 3 div tags. So to play with these 3 things, I created 3 statements. One statement is grandparent is equal to document.querySelector grandparent. Since I want to play or want to do something to the grandparent, I have to create a variable for the grandparent. And since I have to play with the parent also, I will create a variable for the parent and child. Let me know when you write down these 3 lines. Okay, so I hope everybody has written all these 3 lines. Now what I will do, I will add the event listener to all these 3 things. And my event listener means I want user to do something on each div. And then what user has to do, what user will do, I have to mention it. So when I say grandparent dot add event listener, now it takes 3 parameters. First parameter is what user will do. So I will say when user will click it. There can be multiple event listener, which we will see in few days. So this is the first event listener we are seeing, that is the click, simple click. So when I click the grandparent, this line will be enabled. So it takes the first parameter as a click or any event, whatever you want. You may put double click, you may put mouse event, mouse over, mouse out, something, whatever you want, you can put it here. There are a lot of events which we will see in few days. So I have to add the event listener as the first parameter. And the second parameter, which will be, it is a function. And this function takes it gives me one argument that is called E or event. You can put event or you can put E also, only E. And here I will say console.log grandparent was clicked. So what will happen with this line of statement? Then whenever someone will click this div tag, then you will see this click. Whenever someone clicks the grandparent, you will see this console.log. That is the purpose of this statement. Let's see if it works on the browser. So I'll go to the console.log. I will refresh the page and I will click the grandparent. So you will see the grandparent was clicked. Okay. So they're saying grandparent was clicked. Now let's do same thing for the parent. So before I do for the parent, write on these 2 lines of the code. Okay, so write down these 2 lines of the code. Okay, so your doesn't work on the website. Did you see there is no spelling mistake? Or can you paste your code here in the chat? Let me check what you have written. If whole thing doesn't come, just keep partial up till this and this one. Okay, let me see what is the problem. Can you put your HTML code also? Okay, grandparent, then parent, and then child, grandparent. Try refreshing and try again. Looks good. Code looks good. Are you sure your code is in the script tag? Check if your code is in the script tag. Okay, maybe you sent your complete page through email. Let me see if I can run same thing and it is working on my side or not. So, okay, it's okay. Let's go further. Okay, okay, maybe send the whole file to me in email. Okay, let me check that complete file. Okay, I'll check that later, whatever it's why it's not working. Can you share the screen otherwise? Can you share the screen now? I want to see what error you are getting. Can I give you presenter role? Can you share your screen or you will do later? Is this grandparent working for everyone or no? Okay, let me give you the presenter role to share so that everybody can see what is the problem. Okay, one person. Okay, let me give you the presenter role. So I give you the presenter role, share the screen, accept the presenter role and share the screen. Whenever you should click the grandparent, you should see the grandparent was clicked in the console.log. Can you become presenter and share the screen? Okay, let me see. Open your browser where it is not working. Okay, there is syntax error. Click that, the syntax error, yeah, the right side, in the right side, yeah, click here. Yeah, click here. Is it not working? Okay, so there is some syntax error. Let me go your file. Go open your file. Go down. Wait. 40. Document.queries. Child, parent. Click function. 1 second. Let me go through it. Okay, go to browser. Press Ctrl Shift R. Yes, now click. Not this one. Click the grandparent. Go to console.log. Go to console.log and click the grandparent. Yeah, now it is there. So sometimes the old version is there on the browser. So you have to press Ctrl Shift R to make it hard refresh of the page. Okay, so grandparent was clicked is working for everyone. So let me write down the same thing for the parent. Parent dot add event listener. I will give click and I will give the function E. We will be using E in shortly. That's why I give the E. Otherwise, E has no meaning if we don't use it. Parent was clicked. And I will do same thing for the child. You also do it together. Child.add event listener. Click. Function E. And console.log child was clicked. Okay, so write down for all three. Grandparent, parent and child. Okay, everybody done with all the three? Have we written all the three? Okay, so looks like everybody has written all the three. If you're not written, you can copy paste and change it the parent, and then again say copy paste and child. If you want, you can do that. Now I will refresh the page and I will see what is happening in the console when I click grandparent, parent and child. Let's experiment now with different combinations. So first I click only grandparent. You will see grandparent was clicked. I will empty it. Now I will click the parent. See what is happening. Parent was clicked and then grandparent was also clicked. Okay, so when I click the parent, since parent is inside the grandparent, so it is saying parent was clicked and then it's saying grandparent was clicked. Now look here what happens when I click the child. When I click the child, it's saying child was clicked and then parent was clicked and then grandparent was clicked. So what happens when I click the child? It goes above to the parent, and from the parent it goes above to the grandparent, because we have an event listener for the grandparent also. So it goes from the child to parent and grandparent. It does not happen that if I click only child was clicked. In fact, child is also clicked, then parent is clicked, and then grandparent is clicked. So this effect is called the bubbling. That is, from child it bubbles up to the parent, and from parent it bubbles up to the grandparent. So this effect is called bubbling effect. So whenever I click child, it always also click the parent, it also click the grandparent. That is called bubbling. Is that clear? What is bubbling? Bubbling is effect or event from child to parent. And if we have grandparent, then it goes to grandparent also. So it goes in all the layers of the document till it reaches the top of layer. So when I say we have 3 effect, and in 3 effect we are putting some kind of event for grandparent or parent and child. So what happens when I click the child, the effect goes to the grandparent. That is called the bubbling effect, because it goes from the child and bubbles up to the grandparent. And that is all. If I click the grandparent, we are not clicking the child. So only grandparent is shown in the screen. But when I click parent, it is inside the grandparent. So it bubbles up to the grandparent. So it goes to parent and then it goes to grandparent. When I click the child, it goes to the child and goes to the parent and then goes to the grandparent. So that is how the effect goes. It is called the bubbling effect. Is this clear? What is the bubbling effect? Bubbling effect is the event goes from child to parent. Simple. It goes from child to parent. Now what if I don't want, when I click the child, I don't want it should go to the parent and it should not go to the grandparent. I want to stop the bubbling effect in between. So let's stop the bubbling effect in between. So I will open the code and I will do some change. So what I want is that once I click the child, it should not go to the parent and it should not go to the grandparent. So wherever I want to stop the effect, I will just write down here E dot, because E is coming this one, E. This is the event coming. So I have to say just E dot stop propagation. When I say E dot stop propagation, that means whenever I click the child, it will stop the propagation. It will not go to the parent. It will not go to the grandparent. So it will stop here at the child level only. So let's see now. When I click the child, only child was clicked. You will not see parent is clicked or grandparent is clicked. Why they are not clicked? Because we have stopped the propagation after the child. But what will happen if I click the parent? When I click the parent, it is going to the grandparent, because we have not stopped the propagation from the parent. We have only stopped the propagation from the child. So after the child, the propagation is stopped and it will not go to the parent and it will not go to the grandparent. So this is called E dot stop propagation. I can put this in all the levels, and then only the level which I have clicked it will affect and it will not bubble up. So if I click the child, it is saying child was clicked. If I say parent, only parent was clicked. If I click grandparent, only grandparent was clicked. So now only things is happening which I am clicking. It is not bubbling to the top. Previously, if I remove the stop propagation, it bubbles up to the top. So I will remove the propagation in the grandparent and parent. Only child has the propagation. So when I click the child, it will stop of the child after the child. But when I click parent, it is going parent also, grandparent also. So this is called the stopping the propagation using the E dot stop propagation. So just write down that E dot stop propagation in the child and experiment it whether it's working as I showed. Just in 1 minute finish this one. Okay. So I will be drilling this more tomorrow also. Maybe tomorrow I will be drilling this more. So for today, just remember this part, that bubbling, we have the bubbling effect. That means if we have the div tag and another div tag inside the parent and another div tag inside the previous one, then we can, whenever we click the child, it propagates to the grandparent. And if we want to stop the propagation, we just say e.stop propagation. Tomorrow we will see the capture. Capture will go from the grandparent to the child. Today we have seen the bubbling, which goes from the child to the grandparent. So tomorrow we will see what happens when I click the grandparent. It should go to the child. That is what we will see tomorrow. And how to stop that, that also we will see tomorrow. So today what we have seen, the bubbling effect. Bubbling effect go from child to parent and from parent to grandparent. There is another event called as capture, which goes from grandparent to parent and parent to child, which we will see tomorrow. So just for today, remember that we have done only the bubbling effect. That means if we have 3 div tag, it can be multiple, many more div tag also. And this propagation will go through all the layers, whatever we have on our web page. Right now, I have only created 3 things for you to understand how the propagation, how the bubbling effect works. Tomorrow we will do the capture part of this one. Any questions?